May the peace and the security and the protection of Almighty Allah be upon all of you. Respected chief guest of this inaugural session, Professor Dr. Adil S. Dosari, and other dignitaries on the stage, most respected parents, students, ladies and gentlemen. As recited the ayahs from the Holy Quran, all the holy books, all the religious leaders always insist to learn and to educate. In Islam, the holy book Quran starts with the ayah, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqal insana min alaq, Iqra wa rabbukal akram alladhi allama bil kalam, allamal insana ma lam ya'lam. The version says, read in the name of God who created you, and insisting the one who taught you to write and to read with pen. If you compare all the civilizations, all the creatures, all the other species, the difference between man and the other creatures is the ability to write, read, and to record the knowledge from centuries to centuries. This is the most important difference between men and animals. Education at all times are important. And when you compare the past centuries, for example, the last centuries were known for its industrial development and is known as the industrial century. Industrial revolution took the human society to a great extent. But when it comes to the 21st century, apart from all the inventions, the humanity is looking for education. Humanity now emerging in the field of education, and humanity always trying to explore further heights in the field of education. Without education, nobody can survive. In this point, the concept of humanity now contracting to a point which is called global village. The concept of global village is very much emphasized in the field of education. There is a big contradiction now going on overall in the world. The difference is a lot of people, millions and millions of people looking for a job, and at the same time, big companies are looking for better professionals in the world. They are having shortage of good employees, good professionals. So there is a contradiction between the employees and the employers. There is a big gap existing in between. So the point of when you compare, when you seek the definition of education, there are millions, there are hundreds of definitions. One of the most apt definition of education is putting the right man in the right place. Putting the right man in the right place is a very important part of human life. As parents and teachers and most important professionals in the field of education, you should know how to put your sons and kids in the right place and giving the right point of education. So you should know what is what. There is a concept called Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence. I think you are well aware of it. The multiple intelligence is known for its ability to identify the potential of an individual. So, when you have the ability in mathematics, there is no meaning of going for something else. But if you don't have the ability to mathematics, it is blunted to go for engineering and mathematics. So it's called individual difference. And all these things are known by going and exploring the best universities and the best educational centers, seeking advice from the experts. Today, by organizing this kind of educational exhibition, we are also planning nothing else. We are working as a rapport between the parents and students with the great universities in the world. You can see the stalls of best universities. You can seek their advice. You can seek the procedures of admission. You can get the best courses available in the world. By going through these kind of points, you can bring your son to the right point and put him the right person to lead a better life. So this is the point. We are confirming and performing our duty in the field of education. I'm not elaborating my words. Today, for this more specific inaugural session, we have a great personality. He is very well known in the field of education. He is the Dean of Environmental Design, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, KFEPM, which is a leading university not only in Saudi Arabia with higher world ranking, but also in the whole GCC. He is a professor and chairman of City and Regional Planning. He is a member of the National Center for Strategic Development in Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He is a board member of General Authority of Survey. He is a board member of the Tourism Council in the Eastern Province and member of the Asian Association of Social Development Board and the consultant of Research Center, University of Cattolica, Milan, Italy. All these adverbs, like all these things are joining in a special person. So we brought a very eminent personality. Let us welcome Dr. Professor Adil Dosari to inaugurate this wonderful inaugural session. With all your permission, let me welcome Professor Dosari to lead the inaugural session and to lead the session. Welcome, sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I thank all of you for coming here. When Dr. A Salaam started his speech, he talked about the first part of my speech. So while he was talking, I'm rewinding my mind to think of another speech to cover his subject. First part is already gone, which is related to, yeah. Okay, so I had to think of something, an alternative. Now he spoke about the first revelation to our Prophet ﷺ, which reads Iqra, and our Prophet relayed this to us in a different way. It says, seek knowledge from cradle to grave. In other words, our life journey should be a learning journey throughout, even when we are satisfied with our religious satisfaction of our level of education. We still should continue. This eminent subject of search of knowledge should help us guide our kids and monitor the way they learn useful things. Also, we know that our Prophet said, seek knowledge even if it is in China. At that time, China was the end of the world. Nowadays, end of the world is USA, Canada, and maybe New Zealand and Australia. And I understand that some of these universities are represented somewhere outside this hall. But this brings me to the next topic, and I'm addressing the parents as well as our beautiful minded kids. Abu Tayyib al-Mutanabbi, he said once, إذا غامرت في شرف مروم فلا تقنع بما دون النجوم فطعم الموت في أمر حقير كطعم الموت في أمر عظيم. If you want to take a risk in something very of high value, then let the skies, the stars be your limit, because the taste of pain and death for a stupid thing is the same as the taste of pain and death in something great. So make your pain worth it and pick something that's really, really good. Now, I imagined this when I first graduated from BS in KFEPM, and I was asked by the dean when I was assigned as a graduate assistant, okay, you have one semester to think about somewhere in the US to go and get your master and PhD. At that time, we didn't have so many options here. So I told him, where should I go? He said, pick the first 10, top 10 schools in the US. And I started to send memos to Harvard, MIT, Berkeley, Stanford, all of these things. And in the process of getting the answer, my father died. So, rahmatullah alayhi, this forced me to delay my departure for 1 semester. I discovered that out of the top 10, Harvard, MIT, all of them, except 2, they don't admit people except in the fall. So I was still eminent about going to those top 10. And I got admission from University of Michigan and Penn State. And this is where I picked it up. My understanding of go for the highest possible level because the pain is going to be the same. Whether you're going to go for mediocre school or middle school or high school, in its own ranking is going to be the same. But my advice to all of you is to pick up something that maybe it will make you feel a little bit frustrated and too much pressure, but when you come back, you will make yourself and your family very proud. And everybody will look at you when you speak. I remember every time I walk into a meeting in Riyadh, when they know that Mr. X is here, he is the dean of this college and this university, or he is a graduate from that university, everybody will start looking at your face while you're talking. It's a body language signature that tells you they think you are special. They think that you are important, and they want to listen to everything that you say or symbol even when you move. This is what you should be looking at in a way of selecting the future career of your kids. And we know that